Hi everyone and welcome back. So in previous video we have seen about the Postgres with the Node.js integration. Now in this video we are going to talk about MySQL with Node.js. Without using ORM. So this is the third video of this playlist. Okay, so here we are. What we were doing is we are using Docker Compose to create the containers like for the MySQL, for the Postgres, for the MongoDB. So here you can see our MySQL container. And if you don't want it to get into trouble regarding the username password of the MySQL container, just keep them as it is, because we are going to use MySQL root user as a root and the password as this. Okay, and what we can do is we are going to use the same example with the Postgres, now with the same example with the MySQL. Index.js is same, we just clear out the content of queries.js because now we are going to write this code for MySQL. So what we are going to do in this video is we will see how we can connect MySQL with the Node.js using MySQL client library without using all these ORM and all, and we are going to write these queries to insert, update, delete data. So we can get it from MySQL 2 or MySQL, and here we are going to create a MySQL connection, MySQL dot. So here MySQL dot create pool, there is a method create connection, create pool, whatever is suitable, and here we can pass all our credentials. I'm just copying it from Docker Compose. So here my user is root. I wanted to connect with the help of root user. Host is localhost, because when you see my Docker Compose, this Docker Compose is running my MySQL, MongoDB and Postgres. In this video we are using MySQL because we are connecting with that. So we are going to use root user, host and database is DB, and now I can say, just to check the connection, client.query, same as Postgres, we can simply do select now. If all good, it is going to give us the response without giving error callback. And here if there is an error, then we will just throw this, we'll just log it and throw this, so that we'll just log it, that is also fine. And that is good. If there is no error, that means we are connected to DB. That's it. Now all the other methods we are going to write, like get users, because we are going to use the same entity before that, because now we are going to write create, update, delete user methods, and we already have all these routes defined from the previous video. Like we are going to use the same express instance, express routing, get, put, post, delete. The important part is this queries, how we can write against the MySQL connections and get the data. So before that I have already provided a DDL, because we need to create a table. So you need to get into the database. This is the way you can get into the container, right? Because we are running Docker container, and I'm inside Docker container, show databases, and I can use DB. This is, we are going to connect, show tables. Okay, I have already have a users table, but if you want to create it for you, then you can just paste it. That's it, right? And then you can see show tables. I have users table. That's good. So this is what I wanted, right? So we need to have a users table already. ID is a primary key, basic things, and this command is written in this file. Okay, coming to the queries, here we are writing different methods, like const get users, which is going to return all the users, right? It is taking two arguments, request and response. Let's say these are just a request response which we are getting from the body. So here client.query, this is your query, it's like a callback, and once your query executed, you are going to get the data. So there is no major difference. In the Postgres also we did the same way. If we got any error, then we can throw this, or we can just say response.status 500.send this whole error. Otherwise what we can do is we can simply say, now we got the data here, right? So we can say response.json. This is response, not res, and we can send result. Okay, pretty much simple. Response.status also you can set, like I said, 200.json. It's good. So get users. Similarly, now the query, very simple. Select star from users. Similarly, I have other things like get a particular user, get user by ID. Here I will be getting the param from the request object, const id equal to, just convert that into number. Here we are getting request dot params dot id, and here the query will be a little different. Select star from user, where id equal to question mark, and then this question mark we are going to pass as a input to this query as a dynamic input. Here I'm passing the id. That's it. The result we are going to return. So we have another method which is delete user. Create user first and then delete user. Delete user by id. So here we can say delete from this table where this equal to this, and we can simply, if everything is fine, that means this user is deleted. 204, no content. Then we have a create user. All these methods we are using in the index.js. Create user, so we will get the name and email from the request body. Request.body, right? And then here we can write our query, insert into user. So there is a shorthand for doing that. First we can create our user object. Instead of writing, like, there may be a complex columns and how to set it, so we can create an object something like this, and what we can do is insert into users set question mark. What it will do is, here you can pass your object. It's like some logic will this client library will execute. It will map this user object with the columns of this user table, and it will do your task. You don't need to write like insert into users, these are the columns and these are the values, right? This is how we insert into users. These are the columns, space, values, and the values. So here we don't need to do that. Response.status 201, and we are going to result, the insert id. So you can send you can send response or response dot result id, result dot insert id. Yes, we got it. Right now these create user all you can export from here. Module dot exports, what we do is get user by id, get users, create users, delete user by id. Okay, these are being used there. So it is pretty much simple. This is how it is working. Now we have this example.http. We start our server. We are using node mon script. Currently it's crashing. Let's see. Clear. This is our queries.js. Okay, what we'll do is node index.js. Everything's working. Now here we can use this thing to get all the users. Okay, it's working. Send request. This is a post and this is a get. This is get user by ID. Everything is working fine. That's good. Okay, so we have covered the basics, very beginner stuff, and we already know what all challenges we faced. Like we have to go manually create the tables, we have to write row queries just only for single table. What if we have many tables and many complex relationships like primary key, foreign key, all these kind of relationships are there? In that case, how do we manage all these things? So there is a Typeorm provides abstraction to manage all different kind of relationships and expose ES6 classes for you. Like the Typeorm Sequelize does the same way. They also use annotations to define the relationships between one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many, and they are exposing the classes like models, which you can directly use to insert, update, delete in the tables. Okay, so that we will start from the next video. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching.